What's going on there, Todd?
Hey, Patrick, how are you today?
Doing
We are
fine, sir.
we are live.
We're
Can you
live.
believe it? We're live, the MemberCast live
You
again.
are a brave guy for putting me live 4 weeks in a row. That's nuts.
Well, I still control the mute button, so that's going to be something that we work with a little bit here. So,
You might need it a little bit tonight. No, we got Laura's going to be on here in a second too, because she just had such fun last week. She was like, "Can I get on there?" And I was like, "Yeah." But we can go ahead and get started and have a good conversation. I look forward to this, Todd. We're having a good conversation the last couple of weeks with you talking about membership. It's been eye-opening and a lot of fun.
well,
Thanks for
good,
putting us
good. We've
together.
had some fun, and I think we're going to have some more fun tonight.
Good.
You made a promise to us that you were going to bring in this top 20 reasons. I want to jump into this because I'm excited. We have this thing where we with the club creation team where we work with helping to start new clubs
Mm-hmm.
and some companion clubs and things like that within Rotary where you'll have a parent club and they'll add another little club to it that's called a companion. And sometimes we run into where people have some objections as to what we're doing here. I'm trying to get my light a little bit funny. I'm a little dark. Um, and you have a list of top 20 objections that people have. And I thought we'd wade through those and see if we can, uh, you know, kind of answer some of those questions. You got that list with you?
Absolutely. I'm pulling it up right now. So you do a little tap dance while I pull this thing up. All right.
Okay. Well, before we get into that, I was going to be a speaker this week at a on a Zoom meeting, and that you had set up, and so I was speaking
Oh.
at one of these other zones,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of interesting. It's the first time I've seen this happen, but we got hacked. So there was like 82 people. We were on this big event, 82 people, and our Zoom got hacked, and people were saying naughty things and were
Oh.
being very disruptive. And so we ended up we bagged it, and then we tried to come back, and it happened again, and so we had to bag it and schedule it for another day. But the point that I'd like to bring up is that's why they have the fail safes on the Zooms.
Mhm.
Looks like Laura's trying to get in here right now. They have the fail safes on the Zooms that have people go to a waiting room before you let them in, or they have a passcode. And if you're having a large event, it can be a little cumbersome. Like I have to click here to let her in and take a few steps while I'm trying to talk. But one thing about that is if you use those fail safes, those protections, you can keep from getting that disruptive. Because with 80 some people, it was kind of a pain that we had to bag it and come back. And I know people were planning their evening. I know I did around that as well. So
Yeah, I heard about that. It's been out. It's that you guys had a pretty rough time. And I mean, one of the best RMCs you were doing it with Cindy Kish, and Laura knows Cindy too.
hi,
Absolutely.
Laura.
She slays it. And I was on a call with her this morning and she looked like she was down. And I was like, what's going on? And she told me about last night. And I was like, oh my God. And then I remembered that you were going to be the guest speaker on it. And I was like, how did Todd handle it? What happened there? She's like, we were just fighting to get people off. And she said
Well,
it was pretty bad. So
the
everybody needs to watch that too. Take those precautions like you were saying.
the first thing that I thought was, it's a different zone, it's a different part of the country. There were
Yeah.
some people from New York or Michigan or whatever, and I thought, okay, and they were like being very abrasive language, and I thought, wow, this is a tough crowd that I'm going to be speaking in front of. I thought these are tough people over here. It's a little different than it is here on the West Coast. They seem a little more relaxed and then we finally got it that, oh no, these aren't Rotarians that are on there. It's just some children or whatever.
Well, they just busted in the call.
They busted in the call and it
Whoa.
was all fun and games until it got really nasty apparently. But
Oh my
Cindy
God.
handled it like a pro and her team,
They
handled it
handle
like
it
a
real
pro.
well.
And
And what can you do, other than preventive and hopefully next time we'll just use passcodes or let people in one by one. And
Yeah.
and I think a good thing is to maybe get another add another host or two onto
Mhm.
it, and then they can act as an assistant to let people in and kind of screen them as they come in. It takes a little bit longer to get it going, but hey, what is it? You know, it's Zoom. It's definitely less time than having everyone travel to one location to have a meeting anyway. So, and we can share it with the world. So,
I love the fact that we do it like this. This is last week I was telling you guys that when we're sitting here talking about membership, I so enjoy these conversations because it's just we feel like it's us. It's candid, we're not trying to talk to an audience or anything like this. We're just giving our thoughts and our insights to what we think. You know, Todd, you asked a lot of thought-provoking questions last week, and we wound up talking about a movie
Yeah.
that we related this to, and all of us, you saw the like shock in our eyes. We were all like, you're exactly right. And then no meeting that I've ever been on before in my entire life has ever taken that kind of turn. So people just want that genuine conversation about it.
Yeah.
I was just on a call with the district so that I adore, great district in North America. And you know, people just want to have somebody to talk to about membership.
Mhm.
I mean, you two are so talented in what you do. It blows me away. The sheer amount of talent that you bring to the positions. Todd, you're the DMC in 50/80, but you're so much more than that. You're a leader in the North American Club Creation Team that just and you're helping people all over the world do this. Laura, I could work all day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and just never be able to get to where what you've accomplished here.
Oh,
And
now,
I
now
know,
you're
but I'm
bringing it up.
serious. You're just very humble and you put a lot of work in. So when we get the opportunity to sit down and have a conversation about membership, I'm like, I got my pad and piece of paper right here. I'm taking notes. You know what I mean? Because
well,
I'm like,
thanks for the public schmooze,
no, I
Patrick.
think that's a great little deal right there.
What do you got? You got your list in front of you?
I got my list. Do I gotta get I'm gonna share my list.
I want to get in on this. I
I'm
want to
gonna
find.
share the list.
So what happens is we and Laura, you do this too. We were just starting to talk about how we meet with people about potentially starting a new club or starting a companion club or something, and then we book on step two. We do what we call the objections. We bring in the people that are concerned that they just don't understand it or they have worries and legitimate concerns, legitimate objections, and we hear them. So Patrick volunteered to share this list that he's made, the top 20. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be more like Letterman's top 10, but we're going to find out. I've never seen this list, so
Well,
let's
I've
hear
I've,
it.
I've compiled a list here, and I share it, but just go over a couple of them, how you're doing. So these are the ones that we're looking at right now. We're worried about losing members to companion clubs. Okay, how you overcome it? What would you do? I mean, you know how to overcome that. You're going to clarify that companion clubs. You're going to say companion clubs do this and companion clubs do that. The problem is not being able to overcome it. The problem is being able to acknowledge to the person that you heard their objection. So I
Mhm.
always do that with a line in between. So if somebody brings this up, I say, companion clubs don't compete, they complement. And what I mean by that is dot, 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 dot. So you already know how to overcome the objections. Most people can, with conviction, be able to explain their position on why this is not going to let that happen. They just don't know how to get from the objection to their answer without coming across as confrontational. They might not be confrontational, but the other person's like, did they really hear what I was saying? Because here now they're arguing their point, and then it just becomes a back and forth. So I've always made sure that I've restated, what they did. Oh, I understand that. I really do. But companion clubs don't compete; they complement. What I mean by that is what's going to happen in this situation is we're still going to have the ability to have our 12 o'clock meeting. We're still going to have those people stay here. They're not going to leave because that's the way that they choose to serve. This is just opening up our gate just a little bit wider and allowing people who can't serve that way to serve just a little bit differently than us. Now, one of the great points about this is I want you to think about it the other way. How many people that come in through the companion model will wind up in the home club? And in the first 32 months, it's been 12.2%. That's a higher rate of ROI than anything that we have in the system right now. We're not even pushing it. So I see it going the other way, but I do very much appreciate you bringing that up.
You know, that is a very delicate balance on how you talk to members of a club about adding a companion club. And it truly is something, I know both of you do this as well, but when we're talking about that and we're talking about the recruitment of people for the companion club, we always talk about giving people choices. At this time in your life, does this work better or this time work better? What works better for you and what kind of experience do you want? And we always talk to the legacy club, the home club, about you're going to get members that want to join your noon club,
Yeah.
your morning club, along with members that are joining the companion club, because people like a choice, and don't be afraid of that.
It's important to do that. And
Yes.
Todd, you had a job before you became a mountain man out there building cabins off grid and doing all those other things that I watch you on YouTube doing all the time. I'm like, my wife's like, could you do that? I'm like, I'm not even gonna get there because it's cold where he's at. He's wearing one of them silly hats with the ear flaps. I know I'm not there. So I'm not even gonna attempt it. But but before that, you've done a lot of jobs. You owned a lot of business of, self-made entrepreneur. But one of the businesses that we kind of shared and done this is we were in some type of the automotive industry. So I can guarantee you have overcome a lot of objections in your past previous businesses that you've done. So how do you do that? Do you subscribe to the thing that you need to really listen and then really restate what they're saying before you go in? I mean, how have you found that it's best to overcome objections that way?
Exactly. In fact, I use that, and I appreciate you bringing that up. Very similar to what you mentioned, Patrick, is it's kind of like you're going down a road. Okay, you're driving down the road, and then someone has an objection, which is off the road that you're headed. And what you need to do is acknowledge that,
Mm-hmm.
build a bridge, and build a bridge back. So
Nice.
you acknowledge, you jump over to their side of the road and say,
Yeah.
okay, I understand what you're saying. Can I rephrase that so I can make sure that you know that I am understanding exactly what you mean? And they go, yeah, that's what I mean. And you say, okay. And then you build a bridge that takes them back over to the path that you were headed. And if they're comfortable with crossing that bridge with you, then you're back on the right track. So it's the same kind of thing. I love that one that you brought up, that objection with, oh, hey, we're going to lose members. I hear that almost every time.
Every
And
time.
I think it's just a misunderstanding. And I understand the concern with losing members. And as you mentioned, a companion club actually is a partner. It actually complements because they're not losing members. They're adding members.
Mhm.
Every person that goes in a companion club is a member of the parent club. It's just a little sub club, almost like a committee. And that's what makes it such an amazing concept. That and satellite clubs, similar type of a setup. So I like that. What's another objection you got there?
One of the things too, I want to make sure that you understand that, and what I've seen over 6 years. You want me to give you a little bit of the juice?
Yeah.
A little bit of the juice is a lot of times when people say it's going to cannibalize our club or we're going to lose members to the club. That's not the real objection. This is where you guys go, Patrick, what's the real objection?
Patrick, what's the real objection?
Thank you. Hey, since you asked, I'm going to let you know a lot of time it falls back to money. Guys, a lot of our clubs out there, lunch clubs, breakfast clubs, even dinner clubs, they charge for meals, which is fantastic. But a lot of these clubs charge for meals, and if you don't show up, they make the money on those meals. A lot of clubs out there use that as one of their biggest fundraisers, and usually, I'm not saying all the time, but there's a large chunk of that objection that boils down to money, that they're afraid if these people leave, and even though they're in the same club and they're the same this, that they'll lose the revenue from these Rotarians not showing up. Just saying, just telling you, that's about those real talk as you can possibly get. So a lot of times, especially the people that are on our team that have been through this for a long time, battle tested on this, if I ever get that objection, I will poke and prod a little bit more, because if you can't overcome an objection if it's not the real objection. So no matter how good you're, like, man, I delivered that, I was able to answer the question, overcome the objection. Why is it, why are we still on this? Well, you've got to continue to do your asking, your due diligence as you're talking with these people to make sure that you really get to the real objection. And a lot of times during that one, it boils down to money.
So I'm when we're talking about these objections, one thing that I want to bring up is that's where the club creation team comes in. If you're the champion of your club and you're wanting to add a companion, the best part that we have is when we move into that next step. The way it works is you book a step to start talking about what is it you want to build, what kind of club. And we go through that, and then the next step is to visit with your board and your club to make sure they're on the same page. And when you start getting into this list of objections, and we're sharing this just as a little bit of fun and a little bit of insight of some of the things that you'll expect, and we've got 20 of them right here, things that your board or your club might bring up. That doesn't mean all is lost. The neat thing is that on step 2, all of these objections are something that we can handle with the team. You just bring your members to the next step and let them join in on the conversation, and we handle the objections for you. So as we're talking here, this isn't a tutorial on how to handle the objections. It's just to know that they're going to happen. And believe me, we've seen a lot of them, and we hardly think that we haven't seen all of them. But I'm sure when you say that, the next thing happens, you'll see one that you haven't seen before. But so this is what we're talking about here is just some of the things that we run into, and just to know if you're the champion that's wanting to move something forward, you'll see objections and a little insight about what we do when we deal with them. But we will handle that for you in a meeting with everything, full transparency. So let's pick out another one.
I like the one I really like it, since we mentioned money. We can't afford to lower dues or offer alternatives. This is how we do Rotary. This is how we charge. We charge $1,300 for the year. We do this, we do that, the whole 9 yards, whatever. I mean, I came from, Western North Carolina, where they invented moonshine and NASCAR, and it's awesome. And but our dues out here in Western North Carolina would rival a big city, $1,300 a year. Rotary's not expensive, guys. Rotary's not expensive. Meals are expensive.
Yes.
Meals are expensive. The extra, you don't have to be at the country club if you want to, but if you want to, that's fine. But keeping people out of Rotary, I always will use this mantra, and I know this sounds canned, but if you ask yourself this question as you're designing any of this, am I pricing anybody out? Am I scheduling anybody out? Am I leaving anybody out? If you answer yes to any of those questions, go back to the drawing board. Jump back on another call with us, and we'll help you design something out that's better than that. So, if you can't afford to lower the dues, Hey, Todd, when you were in the car business, okay, when you were in the car business, the automobile business or the Winnebagos or whatever, that portion of it, when you did that, there are some places like that that are low volume, high dollar, right? On the gross.
Sure.
And there's other places that deal on volume. Rotary has always been low volume, high dollar. Always has been. It's been exclusive. It's done this. It's set this bar high. And as people value those things less or value other things a little bit more on this, the due structure keep people out. So if you switch your model to a little bit more high volume, several things start to happen. Your club gets re-energized. You can do more good. You can, all of these wonderful things. If you wind up allowing a companion club who's not using any of the resources, who's not using the room or coming to the meals and doing that sort of thing, if you allow that lower cost option, you're going to bring in more people who are going to help and make your club what you want it to be. I'm a more high volume kind of guy. What about you, Todd?
I can appreciate both angles, but I think if we can make it available to everybody as much as possible, uh, I mean, why wouldn't we? Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody had the opportunity to serve in Rotary and serve the world? How much better could the world be if you have people putting in a little bit of volunteer time and a little bit of effort, and having a place that they could do it? So I like that. That's what we call engagement. It's part of the Rotary Action Plan,
Right.
which is a great segue. I would like to change gears a little bit. Thank you for showing that list so that people
Absolutely,
know that
brother.
there is a big list and we are prepared to assist on that. I want to shift gears and I want to ask you each a question. We talk about how do we grow our Rotary membership? And I would imagine that each of us has maybe one or two favorite ways, aside from the club creation team, which I shouldn't say aside from it, because one of the things that's offered on the club creation app is that you can do a club refresh where you can have these conversations and get some of these ideas from someone on the team on ways that you can make your club a little bit more engaging or vibrant or what have you. And uh, while we're on, because we are live, if someone's got a question or a comment, feel free to type it in the comment section and we'll answer it. So, Laura, I want to start with you. If you were to think of one thing that you think is a valuable tool that you'd recommend that a club or a club leader do that they could do consistently that would help grow their membership, what do you think would be, what would you say?
Well, I mean, I always like to talk about, I like my why. I like to talk about the why. I like to show them how excited I am and bring in our new leadership that we have in our club and talk about the things that the club itself does, and it is a family. And I really stress that with someone. But if I'm talking to someone who is a newer person in the job world, professional world, I talk about the professional development, the leadership development. And I just go on and on and on about that, but I always talk about what excites me
Mm-hmm.
about Rotary.
And so, like the Learning Center and some mentorship from the current members, that type of thing is a good way for
Yeah,
leadership. That's a good one.
I just think it needs to be very personal, but that's me. I'm a feel good personal blah, 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 person.
Wasn't that you, Patrick, that said here a couple weeks ago that Rotary is one of the best leadership training organizations in the world? And we have that at our fingertips. And more than just we talk about service above self, and that is the end game, right? But
You
getting
remembered what I said.
oh, I remember everything. So
That's
what's
awesome.
one of your favorite
Listen,
tools? What's
Guys,
one of your
I
favorite tools,
absolutely am
Patrick?
I am like the most practical guy that's out there. And I know that anybody goes back and watch this, they're gonna go, no, you're not, you're crazy. But I really dig talking to people about Rotary. Okay. And I laugh at this all the time because I always ask this whenever I'm talking, and I ask for show of hands. How many people here have heard the old saying, if everybody just brought one person to Rotary, our problems would be solved? And I already know the answer to that question. Everybody's raising their hand. They've been saying that same stuff for 30 years. Does it work? No, it doesn't work. I mean, we get the old everybody needs to have an elevator speech. No, we don't. I have people in my club that I would never want talking to anybody about Rotary. You know
Oh,
what I mean? We
yes.
all have that. Now, be good ambassadors, that's great, but I'm not sending them into clothes. You know what I mean? I'm not doing that. So you got that iron sharpens iron. So I've got this practical thing. I mean, and it's just asking the questions that you know you're going to get the answer back to. Todd, you know, I know that you do service, and let me ask you a quick question. Do you think, you know, in grand scheme of things, do you think that it's the price that people should pay for living in the community by giving back to that community through service? I mean, unless you're Ted Bundy, what are you saying? Yeah. And
Of
they're
course
saying
they're gonna
yes.
say
And
yes.
then my next words out of my mouth are, can I show you a way that you can do that at your own pace and own time?
Yeah.
And what are they going to say? Yes. And then they just gave me permission to talk to them about Rotary. I mean, I've done that. I've tried that. I've practiced that on mannequins. You know, it looks a little weird. You know,
I would imagine so. And J.C. Penney's has already booted him out twice. Hey,
twice.
I want to give a quick shout. I want to say hi to Tom Gump is watching
Tom,
us right now. And Tom gave a little
Um,
he gave a little post on here. Thank you for all you're doing. Let's grow together, grow Rotary. So hi,
hey,
Tom.
don't let him get off the cast. Ask him to be on next week. We can all get a nice little drink in our hand and just chat.
Yeah, Tom.
so
So
Tom,
Tom, if you're watching, text me back or put this in the message. We want you next week to be our special guest, number one. And number two, I want you to type in here, what's one of your favorite tools that you recommend
there you
for a
go.
club looking to grow their club?
Mhm.
What's one thing that you think would be strong? And while we're waiting for Tom to hopefully type us back on here. I'm going to throw mine out there. And one of my very favorites is goal setting. I'm a big fan of goal setting. We worked really hard this year to have all of our president-elects enter their goals into Club Central, which is the Rotary Club Central, which is for those that aren't familiar with it, there's a real nice goal setting system in there that breaks down the priority goals based upon the Rotary Action Plan. And it'll even go back and you can look at the history of your accomplishments if the goals have been put in the past. And if the president-elects, anyone, and you can do it now. If you don't have your goals in your club right now,
You
even
can
though
still
we're
do it now.
into December, we still have a half a year left in this in your current year that you could just enter your goals right now into Club Central. And if you're unsure how, you can contact our club creation team. We're happy to talk to you about how to do that, or contact me. I'm happy to. I've got a video I made on it, of course, on how to enter your goals.
It's
And
on his Paul Bunyan YouTube channel.
it's on one of my YouTube. I've got three YouTube channels, yeah, and Patrick keeps referring to one that I've got called T and Mo Off the Grid. It's I do a bunch of off grid and DIY projects,
It's
and
awesome.
it's yeah, it's a different world. But so enable in order for you to achieve a goal, you need to set a goal,
Yeah.
and then don't just set it. But then share it. Share if you take a goal and you set it and then you share it with the people that can help you achieve it. That means your board,
Yes.
that means your club. And tell them, hey, this is our goal for membership
Mhm.
and the overall goal. And when you're setting goals, set goals that are realistic and achievable and put a timetable on it. If you've got 31 members in your club right now and you want to have a total of 35, then say our goal is we want 35 members by June 30th. So we'll have 35 members. Now you might lose a couple, obviously, but if you have that goal and everybody understands we're this much closer, and then you celebrate the successes in a
Yes.
big way. Don't just have someone come in and they're secretly a new member. Make it a big deal because it is
Celebrate
a
it.
big deal. A person has chosen to take this life path to go along this journey with all of us to help make the world a better place and make it better for a lot of people. So anyway, that's my goal setting thing.
Todd, you want to know what's funny about this? You asked that one question, and each one of us gave a very different answer.
Mhm.
I mean, Laura talked about her why. You talked about goal setting. I talked about practical membership recruiting skills. It's everything all wrapped up in one. And I think that's one of the things that we get when we had the team. When I was doing it, by myself, it was you got what you got, because this was, this was just my opinion. Now we're a well-rounded team that gets the Laura Carey's and her opinion on the whys, and we get to listen to Todd about the importance of goal setting and all of those wonderful things. So I think that really is the most wonderful byproduct of forming the team. You just saw it right there. You asked one question, and each one of us had a very different but very correct answer on that. That's a very deep thing to think about right there. But goal setting is fantastic. That's one of the things that we do in step 3 when we get a club that's come in and they're ready to go, and we get them to state to us how many people that they're going to do. If they're doing a companion club, say, how many people do you want to do your companion club with? Start your companion club with 12 or 15. Laura, how many people do you have to start a satellite or companion?
8. We
8.
want more.
It
We
starts
want
8.
more.
That's right. So we ask them, do you want to do 12 or 15? We know that they're going to
Exactly.
get there because we're going to show them how to recruit for that. And the second thing is, take out your calendars and let's take a look. Do you have a pints for polio? Do you have what do you have in the next 45 to 60 days where we can do a nice, big, awesome induction palooza? And you just wait and they'll give you a date. Now, what did those people just tell you? We're going to have this many people by this date.
Mhm.
How many
That's all.
Rotarians do you know that are out there that are going to say, we're going to do this by this date and don't get it done? They do,
I,
because of the stated goals, like you're talking about, Todd. That's what we do in the system.
I want to take a quick pause and welcome Jennifer, Dave, and Michelle, who are just jumped on. And Michelle says, inspire our youth to be tomorrow's leaders today.
Woo! Yes.
So that's Michelle
Yes.
Cook, who's normally on here today. She's attending some big fancy gala, but like anybody else, they jump over to Facebook when they have a couple of minutes and say, "I wonder what am I
When
missing
they
out?"
get to that gala and they're like, these speakers are horrible. I'll go listen to some horrible speakers over a member cast. Come on.
Well, we
So
at least have a good time.
Yeah.
when you talk about goals and if you talk about a goal, here's something I want. That's a dream. I've heard the term used that when you put an end date on a goal, instead of that's the difference between a dream and a goal is a
Yes.
goal is a dream with a deadline. So we're going to do this. This is where we're going to be, and we're going to be here at this certain date. And then you've got a deadline, and it seems to light the fire,
It
and it
does.
gets it in your mind and gets others working towards that because we're all motivated by accomplishing something. And you know when you've accomplished it because you've got your deadline and you know what you're looking for. That makes it easy.
Well, if you
So,
say you're going
Todd,
to do something, Todd or Laura,
mhm.
you say, I'm going to do this by when, it doesn't matter what it is. What are you going to get done?
Oh,
You make sure that you get that done. And that's what it is. So it's taking those goals and, following an action plan, making sure that they're in Rotary Club Central is really, really important. But putting them in a computer, take it one step further. Like you said, Todd, tell other people, this is what we're going to do. Because
It's your
now you've got the
mission.
stated purpose and
Yes.
you're all driving to that one goal. They other people that you're telling that to get that buy-in from them, because that's just another person and another person and another person that said, we are going to get this done. That's the key to the whole 9 yards. So we need to put it in for Rotary Club Central so we can see that, so we know what we're doing and driving towards it. But getting other people's buy-in on that goal and getting them to verbalize it as well will make that happen.
And you
But a
get all
way
these ideas. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but a way to get them involved.
Mhm.
And you've got to involve people other than just one person making those goals.
Yep.
Because the only way it's going to get done is if people, like you said, Patrick, that they're going to get that buy-in, but they had a voice.
Yes.
They were able to contribute to that vision. That's very important.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
Goals are important. I have a couple other things that I like too, tools, and I
Okay.
want to share that. Weekly emails. I don't know if you guys use those or not, but when I talk to club presidents and you have your weekly meeting, and you wouldn't think you'd need to remind people to go to the weekly meetings. You do. And people get busy, and not everyone puts things on a calendar, and you have your weekly meeting, and sometimes people just forget or they schedule other things in. If you send a weekly, just a quick little email, I think it's gold. You send a
Yeah.
weekly email, hey everybody, just a quick reminder, we have our meeting on, whatever, Thursday at noon or what have you. And then say, and we're going to be hearing from this speaker, and we're excited to be able to support them. And then put in there, don't forget to bring a friend, bring a guest, a Rotary minded friend or someone else along with you. And if you do that every time and send out just a little email, a little blip as a reminder, it helps people be engaged, because sometimes you have members that don't show up for a couple, 3 weeks at a time. You're still reaching them. Even if you're only reaching them by email, they still have that connection. And we know that's one of the big things, is make sure they're connected. And hey, if you send it out each week and they still don't show up, you can make a list of the people that aren't showing up. Everyone's getting an email. That's a good time to start making a list of those people. Maybe someone should call. Maybe they're having a problem.
Yeah.
I experienced one time, we had someone that hadn't been to a club for a couple of weeks, or for a couple of months, I should say. And finally, we gave her a call and said, hey, we missed you. We haven't seen you around. Are you still interested? She'd been in a car wreck
Oh,
and had been
geez.
injured and was hospitalized. And I was like, holy cow, her whole world was turned upside down. She had work issue and family, and being in a hospital, everything kind of like dominoes fell apart, and Rotary had to take it by the side. But at least we were able to talk to her and, share a little bit of the love that we had with that family you're talking about, Laura. Uh,
Mhm.
Maybe we should have done it quicker than 2 months, though. I've always kind of thought that was a little failure on our part about not jumping in quick enough. Maybe if you haven't seen them for a couple weeks, it's a good time to message them on Facebook or call them or text them. Anyway,
Todd, one of the
that
things that you're
communication.
talking about, though, on that is with anything, like with that situation or with any kind of membership thing, engagement or recruiting or retaining
Hmm.
is making sure that there's a stated sense of urgency. Now, you're not running around going, my hair's on fire, my hair's on fire, my hair's on fire. And sometimes it might be that, it's just we're going to do this by this date. But, the issue is like this. I would talk with people because as we were recruiting, I would try to do them in bunches. I remember what it felt like, and people see, I'm the only one. Come on up, Patrick. We're going to induct you. And your first thing is, in front of this club, you're standing up there, you're in front of 100 people. They're handing you papers like this. Ain't nobody
Yeah.
got it in a bag or something. You're all looking like this. Your hair's a mess, and they're doing some big induction speech, and you're standing up there. And people hate that. They just absolutely, people don't like being in front of a crowd a lot of times. So what we would do is we would recruit a class. So we would like for you to be in this class that we're closing off on this Friday. We've got several other people that will induct in the class to do so. And it gave them a time frame, it gave them a sense of urgency, and they knew that they weren't going to be alone. And little things like that matter. So you've created a small sense of urgency, giving them a reason to make the commitment by such and such time, and made them feel comfortable all in the same thing. So those are those little nuances that we go over in step 3 in recruiting and how we do that sort of stuff. So that little sense of urgency helps.
As Michelle says, multiple touches, email, social media, weekly newsletter.
Is she participating right now?
She's participating.
typing
She
in.
couldn't be here live, but
She couldn't be here live.
she's
Hey,
sitting
Michelle,
there,
save us a doggy bag if you're out there at this
Okay.
gala. We're
it
here.
sounded like
We're here eating popcorn. Okay.
she was at a gala, which sounds to me like a pretty fancy thing with fancy clothes and fancy food. So, and they must
And
have a
here we
fancy
are.
speaker, but she's online, so we're gonna haze her a little bit. Michelle,
We
we're
miss
glad to have you
Michelle.
here.
She's awesome.
Always, always.
I love it.
That's
Hey,
great.
listen, we've got popcorn and Star Crunches, so we're good to go. We don't need no extra Rotary chicken at this point. We're good.
So next week, we're going to be talking even more about membership, how to grow your membership. That's what we do here on this MEMBERCAST, Membership Unplugged. We sent out broadcasted a request to have Mr. Tom Gump from Rotary. He hasn't
It was a
responded yet, but
challenge. I think it was
maybe-
a challenge.
So,
I think it was a challenge. I was like, "Hey, Tom, come on." He piped in, which was great. So we had an opportunity to ask him to come on. It would be great to get his viewpoint on that.
sure.
It would be, and so we can try to pursue that. I'll try to go through here and tell him he's invited, and I'll make sure he gets it. No promises if he's who knows what his schedule is, but we know tonight he was available. So Tuesday nights, every Tuesday, next Tuesday, we will be here at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, which is where I'm at. And for the MemberCast, Membership Unplugged. In the meantime, we do want to invite you. This is we do this on the North American Club Creation Team Facebook page. We also will post it on our North American Club Creation Team YouTube channel, where you can see some of these older episodes that we've got of the MemberCast. And we encourage you to consider downloading the North American Club Creation Team app on your iPhone or your Android or even on your computer now, right, Patrick? You can do
it on
that.
your computer. Yep. Clubcreationteam.org.
Book a step 1. So when you get in there, it's not good enough just to download it, because that won't do nothing. Go in there and then set up your account. The cost, Patrick's going to break down the cost of this. How much is it?
Free 99. Free 99. It's free.
Right, Laura? 100%
Absolutely.
free. This service. You can do things like we can help you launch a companion club or a standalone club, a Rotaract club, an Interact club, a new Rotary club. What else? Impact club. We also have a neat feature called Club Refresh, where you can contact us and book a step 1, and we will work with you on topics like we've talked about here. I want to see if I can show you. I get this stack. This is a stack of things that I've got of things that you can do to grow your Rotary Club. And I would love to share that with whoever wants to book a step 1 with us. And we're more than happy to, someone on our club will go through and help you to do that. Chris Jones. Hey, Chris is on right now.
Hey, Chris.
Good to see
Hey,
you.
Quick, Todd. You're gonna post this on the YouTube channel, right?
Yes.
I'll tell you what we'll do though. If you want to, on that, when you post it and you do the quick recap, I'll give you that top 20 objections and how to overcome them. I'll send it to you, and you can put that in on the YouTube channel, so they can just click it and download it if you want to.
Yeah, or they can go to the Club Creation app. That's probably even a better place. We can talk about that. Maybe put in the Club Creation app, book your step 1, and we can send them that as part of their. That might even be easier because then we have the email.
There you go.
Off of that. So
There you
we'll
go.
work out those details, but definitely check us out next week and share this with others. Invite others to join us. It's a Tuesday night happening, and it's open to all Rotarians.
Absolutely.
Final thoughts, Laura, let's hear it.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you.
Your final thought, let's hear it.
Oh, final thoughts. Well, I'll tell you what, using us as a membership tool is our greatest pleasure. We enjoy talking to anyone about growing their club, but we also love to listen to all the wonderful things you're doing. So consider downloading the app, book a step one, and then we get to meet you and be part of our family. Go for it, Patrick.
Patrick, let's hear it. Final thought.
We're just like you. We're just like anybody out there
Yep.
that's got a passion for Rotary. But what I've found is that we have some people that are in Rotary that are passionate about certain sections about Rotary. I could listen to Chris Jones talk all day about foundation. I mean, he just absolutely loves it. He's one of the smartest guys in the world, and he always knows how to get down to here when he's talking about the foundation, which is where you have to get to. Our collective group here, we're passionate about helping clubs grow or what they need. There's not a day goes by that I don't say, what can I do to help, this club? That's my Rotary moment. That's when I know where I found my passion is helping other clubs grow. So if there's something that you guys want to do, book a step one and we work it out.
That's awesome. And guess who just showed up? Andy. Andy's watching right now.
Andy, my buddy.
Where's Andy from?
Andy's from Australia, but Andy's in Thailand right now. So it's really, really simple because Andy is 13 hours ahead of me on the East Coast. So it's 8:45 in the morning. He's probably got a good cup of coffee in his hand and he's thinking about membership. The man
Well,
wakes
Andy,
up
good to
thinking
have you
about
on
membership.
here. And Michelle reported that she did bring home cookies.
We can deal with that. We can deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we'll be expecting our cookies. So we've got those coming. And I don't know if she brought in enough for everyone that's online, but maybe she did. So if we were there, it is a virtual cookie anyway. All right, that's it. That's it for tonight's MemberCast. Thanks everybody for joining us. We'll see you next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Impact Studios MemberCast Membership Unplugged.
No, he didn't. That's awesome. I love it.
I did, I know, and now I just need to figure out how to shut this down.